Hello, welcome everyone. I would like to welcome you in Personal Finance course, which is Chapter 1, Personal Finance Planning in Actions, using a book focused on personal finance by McGraw-Hill. It is created by Kapoor, Dilabai, Hughes, and Hart. Okay, let's start first thing first. We would like to discuss with you the learning objective of this course will be 4 of them. Number 1 is identify the social influence as well as the develop financial goal. Number 2. Number 3 is calculate time value of money. Number 4, implement a plan for making personal, financial, and career decisions. Okay, look at the objective number 1 first. What is personal finance planning? It is the process of managing our money to achieve personal economic satisfaction. Financial literacy means to be able to use the knowledge and skill for earnings as saving, spending, as well as investing money to achieve your personal and family and community goals. Financial planning is formalized report that summarizes your current financial situation, analyze your financial needs, and recommend for your financial activities. What is the advantage of financial planning? Number 1 is increased effectiveness when obtaining and using financial resources and expanding your financial affair by avoiding excessive debt and depending on others. And number 3, improve your personal relationship and also have a sense of financial worries. What is your life situation and financial planning? The stages is that in every situation for family situation and financial need of an adult is known as an adult life cycle. There are personal factors that influence spending as well as saving pattern that depends on the age, income, household size, as well as personal belief. There are changes in that influence financial needs such as dealing marriage, dual income household, single parent household, caring for both children and elderly parents. Okay, this is most common in many traditional Asian families, but that they taking care of their elderly parents. In some cultures, they are also doing it, taking care of parents by outsourcing it to the retirement home. Okay, so let's look at the values. Values are ideas and principles that a person considers correct, desirable, or important. What are the financial planning? It facilitates on daily activities such as investing in debt, securities, or equity, or stock, mutual fund, or certificate deposit. When I was working for BMO or Royal Sun Alliance, every month I put out investment of $100 for my RSP retirement saving plan in Canada here, and also about $100 for education saving plan, which is called RSP for my kids, and they are for their college educations. This is a standard way of doing things in your daily life. What is economics? Economics is the study how wealth is created and distributed, which include in the environment itself include labor, business, government working together. In the U.S., known as Federal Reserve System or the Fed, that will maintain the money supply to encourage consumer spending, growth, as well as job creations. In the Canada will be Bank of Canada. Okay. Look at the financial planning in our economy. The financial system here in the Exhibit 1.2, we have the providers, we have the financial intermediaries, and then we have the financial market, and then the funds interact each other. And the user will be the borrowers as well as the spenders of the funds. When I was working for Nomura Securities, Japanese largest securities firm, we have increased, I think we have raised about $2 billion of funding in many capital markets, from Jakarta Stock Exchange to London Stock Exchange, Euro bonds, by issuing bonds, as well as we go to New York Stock Exchange, and then Singapore Stock Exchange, Hong Kong Stock Exchange, all of these things that we have done so far. So this is typical activities in the financial market. So what is the financial intermediaries? It can be bank, insurance companies, investment companies, or any other financial institutions. The financial market will be the stock market, bond markets, money market, or commodity market. So it's all the funds go here and go interact with each other, depends on the activities or they need. If it is stock, it will be stock market. If it is bond, it will be bond market. The treasury will be money market. And if it is like commodity such as pulp and paper or tin or gold, it's going to be in commodity market. Okay. The financial regulator is mostly FDIC for the one in Canada, and then we have SEC in the US. In Canada will be OSFI, Ontario Standard Superintendent, OSFI, Office of Superintendent Financial Institutions. Okay, that's the governing body of the financial institution. In the financial planning of our economy in terms of global influence, U.S. economy is affected by foreign investor competitions from any foreign companies. There are a lot of integration of the global market between U.S. and the world, as well as in Canada with the world. Okay, level investment also affect in terms of domestic money supply, and money supply affect the consumer interest rate. Okay. That is what is going on. Example, a lot of trade coming from China in terms of goods and products, while U.S. also export a lot of agriculture as well as movies, as well as forces, equipment to other countries. Okay, those are a good example of trades. Inflation is the rise of general prices. I remember when I was 30 years ago, I was buying McDonald's. It cost me about $1.35. Now is the combo price for McDonald's. It's going to cost you about $15 here. Okay. What is inflation? In terms of inflation, the buying power will be decreases. The inflation is very harmful with people in fixed income. Why? Because the price keep going up. After the COVID-19 pandemic here for 2 years, all the prices going up because of the supply chain disturbance. Okay. The CPI is the standard base being computed and published by Bureau of Labor Statistics, and then it measures a basket of change of the urban consumer that pay for the fix of basket of goods and services. So basically, it's based on the changes of the prices of a fixed basket of goods and services. Okay, many people face hidden inflation. For example, there are two countries that has very, very high inflation, like Zimbabwe and Argentina. Okay, we'll look at video later on how this economy destroy the country's purchasing power, and then the cost of economy keep rising and rising and rising, and not many people can afford basic necessity like food and supplies. Okay, look at the financial planning in our economy in terms of Rule 72. To find out the fast prices, use the Rule 72, divide 72 by annual inflation or interest rate. Example, Rule 72 is that inflation rate is 4%, the price double in 18 per year, so 72 divided by 4 is 18 years. That's the Rule of 72. In terms of saving, you earn 6%, 72 divided by 6, you got 12 per years. That's how it goes. Alright, let's go about in terms of the financial planning in our economy, such as interest rate. Interest rate represent the cost of money. The force of supply and demand usually influence interest rate. When the consumer expand their saving and investment, supply increases, interest tend to decrease. Borrowing by consumer and business, government increases, interest rates are likely to rise due to increased demand. Okay, interest rate affect your financial planning activities. Why? The higher the interest rate, the higher the cost of borrowing. Okay, for example, inflation is so high, the Bank of Canada increased their interest rate in order to reduce the inflationary pressure. So the interest rate goes up like quite high now. So everybody is going to pay higher mortgage because of that. This is the financial planning activities in terms of the book that we are using. So we're going to go into the second objective, which is achieving financial goal. There are 3 ways of doing things. Short term, which is less than a year, like saving for vacations or paying debts. Intermediate goal is a time frame between 2 to 5 years. and long-term goal for 5 years or more. Type of financial goal can be in terms of consumer product goals or in terms of durable product goals, such as buying appliance, cars, and sporting equipment. Buying new cars, that's a good example of durable product goals. In terms of consumer, like food or clothing or entertainment, such as buy branded items such as Gucci or maybe Versace. Okay, intangible purchase or non-financial goal is some example will be like health or education or anything like that, or community service or leisure. Okay. What kind of leisure? Example is going to photography classes, drawing or doing sculpture or writing class. Okay. And look at the type of goal. The goal of the personal thing must be SMART. What is SMART? SMART must be specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-based. Okay, those are the goals that we have to create personally. Every financial institution, the objective number 3, requires you to sacrifice something in order to get something considered more valuable. This is what we call opportunity cost, or what we refer as a trade-off cost. Why? Because let's say you go to school. The reason why you go to school, you're going to spend. What are the things you're going to spend? Time, energy, health, ability, knowledge. These are the typical personal costs that will include. Why? You're going to spend 1 year, let's say, in school. You need to have a lot of energy to study, and you have to maintain good health. You have the ability to think, and you have the gain of knowledge. So example here, you receive $100 today, or compared to $103 a year from now. Reward is and reward. The higher the risk, the higher the return, or the lower the risk, the lower the return. That's the key part. And then how about the comparison 120 years from now instead of $100 today? That's a comparison of what you're going to get as compared to the future expectations. Okay? So look at the next one, which is the time value of money, which is the opportunity cost of money. It is the increase of the amount of money as a result of interest earned. Okay, saving today is in more money tomorrow is a result of interest earning. So it's based on the compounding interest. Spending today results in lost potential interest earning. Saving and spending decision involve considering of current needs, future uncertainty, and current interest rate. For example, if you like personal life, like me, I have an old car, 12 years old, and I haven't changed it because there's no need for that. If there's a breakdown, then there's a current need to get a new car. Time value money calculations that include amount of saving times interest rate times the period you're going to get the interest here. Okay, these are the things in terms of the time value calculations. We're going to go into example here. 500 deposit at 6% for 6 months would earn following: 500 times 0.006 times 0.05 equal to the $15. Okay, and then what are the calculation method? You're going to use the future value. What is future value? Is the amount that will be available at a later date. Present value is the current value of the amount decided in the futures. The calculation of method, the TVM, is based on the formula calculation, TVM table, financial calculator, as well as the spreadsheet of the software and website app. Most people, like myself, use the financial calculator. In the old days, when the calculator is not available, 30 years ago, we always use the TVM table. Excuse me. Look at the future value. Example here is the future value is the amount of which current saving will increase based on a certain interest rate and certain time period. It is referred as compounding. Example, $100 deposit at 6% account for 1 year will grow to 106. So the future value will be 100 plus, in bracket, 100 multiplied by 0.06 times 1 year equal to 106. Compounding occurs when interest is earned previously earned interest rate. Okay, so assume again 650 investment earning 8% for 10 years. What is the future value? So you plug in, you have the formula here. Future value equal to present value, close bracket 1 plus I, close bracket, and exponential. You plug in that numbers, 650 coming from investment, 8% here, 8% here, 10 exponential 10. So you got this 1403.30. Okay, so the future value of the series deposit based on the appendix, we're going to use this this is what we call annuity. So you're going to use an appendix here. Appendix is basically the time value statistic. Okay, So you're going to use the table available. For example, you put the $50 a year at a year of 7% for 6 years at the end of the first year. So you will have 357. Where do you get the 357 coming from? You got $50, and then the present value interest factor annuity is 7.153. So you multiply, you get this from the appendix table, so the time value money table. Okay, that's how you go about to get this number. All right, let's look at the present value. The same story. You go on at a thousand. Present value is the current value of future amount based on a certain interest rate and a certain time period, also referred as discounting. So you want, let's say you want 1,000 5 years from now, you earn 5%. So how are you going to need to deposit? Based on the appendix present value interest factors, you got the 784. Where you got coming from? 1,000. And this 0.784 is based on the table provided in the book of the chapter. Okay. Let's look at the next one. It's the same story. Okay. If you want to take 400 out of investment account each year for 9 years, your money is earned at 830%. So how are you going to do that? You're going to get 2,498.80. So this is 400. Find the appendix number is 6.247. Okay, that's how you get that number. You want to take out 400 each for year for 9 years. Your value is earning. So this is, you're going to get future value interest factor 6.247. That's the number coming from. Okay. We'll go into the detail of the number 4, the planning process. Objective 4 is there's a spend, save. In terms of income, there's a sum of fund. Okay, you're gonna spend, or you're gonna save, or you're gonna share. In terms of spending, you have daily expenses, you have major expenditure, as well as recreational activities. In terms of save, you have long-term financial securities. In terms of share, you must provide to local as well as global assistance in times of need. So there are a number of factors that you need to know. Is that the financial planning process involves the number 1 first is all the circle here. Okay, determine the current financial situation, develop your financial goal. Number 2, all the way identify the cost of actions and then evaluate the alternative in terms of asset, in terms of risk. What kind of assessment of the risk in terms of TVM? This is your assessment. And then you also consider your life situation, your personal values, as well as your economic factors. And then after that, you're going to create an implementation plan for your financial action plan. After then, the next step is going to review and revise your financial plan. So that's the step 1. For financial processes steps, there's there's a number of steps. Okay, from that previous diagram. So step 1, determine your current financial situation. Example, you're going to list asset and debt along the amount of span of various items. For example, if I have a car, if I have a house, and how much and other assets such as, let's say, property, let's say a table, and etc. Debt such as mortgage, banks, credit card debt, and you're gonna list them. And in terms of spending, you can also detail it, and then put it in a spreadsheet. That's the best way. That's the best way. What's your expenses? And what is your revenues, what is your assets, what is your debt. Okay. Number 2, develop your financial goal. Periodically analyze your financial value and goal. A specific financial goal are vital for planning. For example, I want to be debt free. Let's say I have a debt of 5,000 in my credit card. So I want to be financially debt free by 6 months. So that is an example of the goal. Or I want to be mortgage free at the age of 55. That's another financial goal. So number 3, after you develop your financial goal, you identify the action, what needs to be done. For example, if you want to have debt free, you don't want to have any more credit card, you're going to stop spending money, you're going to stop shopping and start paying off your debt. Let's say $100 a month. Example I mentioned to you when I was with BMO and Royal Sun Alliance. I put $100 for my retirement saving plan as well as education saving fund, which is $100. So that is the course of action that I have to do. Okay. Evaluate the alternative. You must evaluate the alternative. What are the available alternatives in terms of your life situation, your values, your current economic conditions, and then you weigh in the consequences of your choice. Evaluate the risks and seek financial planning information from various sources throughout the process. So you have to analyze yourself. Let's say I want to be mortgage free by the age of 55. What I have to do? Number one, I'm going to have to reduce all my expenses, my spending. Okay, I cannot. Let's say I used to eat dinner out, so I have to cook myself. That's one of the good example. Okay. 5. Implement your financial action plan. You may need assistance such as insurance agent or investment broker. So let's say I want to have 100,000 for my daughter to go to college. So every month, 100,000 in 20 years from now, how much money do I have to put in order to get 100,000 or 200,000 based on the objective that I created? So let's say I need 100,000 in 10 years. So every month I have to put in at least maybe $150 or $200, depend on the calculations of annuity. And then review and revise your plan. After it is planned, then it has to be an ongoing process. So when I was in BMO, I put in $100 every month for the last 8 years there. That's my plan is, because the idea is to have retirement income at the end of the retirement age. So financial planning, there are other sources that you can use online, financial institutions, in the bank, credit union, or investment company. Let's say you can go to BMO, or you can go at Edward Jones, one of the companies, or you're going to also go to media sources like newspaper, magazine, radio, podcast, and online videos. And you can also go to financial specialists such as financial planner, CFP, for example. Make sure your financial planner has a CFP designation, or insurance agent, or investment advisor, okay, or lawyers, anything like that, or tax preparers in case you have a tax planning. This is the table give you a cost of action. So from assess your situation, develop your financial goal, example here, and within a year, short-term financial goal. This is example of now, go to within a year, and then more than a year from now, which is here. So you're gonna get, for example, here, life situation of single parent, the goal, 20,000. College fund in 10 years. So life situation, then what you need to do here? Make a regular deposit to a saving plan such as CD deposit, okay? CD deposit, and then Optive life insurance for dependent care in case of premature death. That's the number one example here. Number 2, for young couple, save for down payment for home purchases. Create a budget, allow regular deposit for saving and investment program. Continue investment program, and then what? To provide expanded housing need for emergency. Number 3, life situation of middle-aged person or couple. To provide financial need for parents. That's another example, right? I have a mother who retired, so I have to make sure she is taken care of in terms of her financial needs. So we have to spend at least send money every month. That's a standard way of doing things. Okay, it's called filial duty and filial responsibility. And then you can also do purchase life insurance with parents as beneficiary. That's a good example. Make monthly payment to mutual fund investment program. Okay, all right. Let's look at the career choice in financial planning. There are a lot of things you can do. Career selection in terms of financial decisions. Alternatives to funds school costs include the grants. Example, like my daughters and my sons, when they go to McGill and Queens, they receive a lot of grants. They also receive some financial aid and work study program. Also some scholarship and through educational loan as well. In Canada here we have OSAP, on to a student loan program. Okay, but tax credit we don't have that one. We can use personal saving as well. I do that, and lower cost of living locations. That's one of those area. And then tuition reimbursement program. Tuition reimbursement program is available when I was working for Campbell Soup in Washington DC. What happens is that they funded my MBA program, so I have to pay first. Let's say first semester, I remember I pay about $1,500 for my semester. Once I pay and I finish school, I graduated, I finish school and pass the course. I reimburse it. I send my reimbursement to Campbell Soup HR, so they refund my tuitions as a part of benefits. That's a good idea there. Chapter 1, summary. This is what we are going on to, summary. So I'm not going to go over the summary. I'm just going to give you an idea of the things that we have done. Let me see if there's quite a number of them. Okay, I think it's better. Chapter summary here. There's a financial decision that are affected here in terms of life situation, personal value, and economic factors, from prices, interest rate, and employment opportunities. There's also major elements of financial planning, from obtaining all the way to retirement and estate planning. Okay, and then chapter number 2, objective number 2, we just covered. It should be smart, specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-based. Smart is objective number 2. Okay, objective number 3. Every decision involves trade-off. Make sure it includes time, effort, and help. Excuse me. Financial opportunity costs are based on the time value as money. Okay, and then future value, present value calculation. You are able to increase the value or lost interest that resulted from saving and investing and borrowing and purchasing decisions. Okay, and then chapter number summary of 4 is that implement the plan or personal finance career decision. Personal finance planning involves this step. Number 1, determine your current financial situation. Number 2, develop financial goal. Number 3, identify alternative course actions. Number 4, evaluate alternatives. Number 5, create and implement financial action plan. Number 6, review and financial plan. Those are the implementation of your personal finance decision making. And in terms of appendix, using calculator, usually I use Texas 2 business calculator, which has all this period. So a example here given to you, an example, appendix 1, payment, how you calculate about. This shows you how to calculate. Okay, this is the table, using the table. This is the formula here. Example here, for 400 earns 12%, compounded monthly over a year and a half. So 18 months. So you're going to calculate here using formula, using the table, and using financial calculator. Step by step, you're going to get the same number, which is 478.46. Okay, all right. And then another example here, calculations. Okay, using formula, table, and financial calculator. Example given here. 3 deposit $1 each, made at the end of the next 3 years, earning 10% interest. So you're gonna put in the formula here, calculate, and then this is using the table, 3.31, and then this is using the calculator. The answers are going to be 3.31. Okay, $3 deposit every time. So this is shows you an example of the future value and series of equal amount. And then this is the example of present value of a single amount. Give you an example. Let's say present value 1 to be received 3 years, now based on 10% interest. So what you're going to do, this is the question mark here. Present value is the question mark. So $1 to be received 3 years from now, underline 1 plus 0.13, you get 75 here, 0.75. So you're going to calculate here using either the table, this is based on the table, present value interest factor annuity table, and then this is using, on the right side, financial calculator is using the calculator, and you're going to know how to calculate that properly. Okay, they are going to the same thing. So I personally prefer to use calculators, it's faster. Okay, so this gives you also another series of payment of annuity in terms of withdrawal, step by step, in terms of formula here, in terms of table here, in terms of financial calculator here. Okay, the answer will be the same, but 2.49, 2.49, 2.48, rounded to 0.49. Okay, and then we're gonna look at the present value to loan payment. So exactly this is the calculator, not what we have discussed in terms of the table, in terms of the logic, and then finance, in terms of the financial calculator as well. Example here, if you borrow 1,000 with a 6% interest rate to be repaid 3 equal payment at the end of the next 3 years, estimate payment will be 374. How are you going to calculate 1,000 divided by 2.673, which is the table? Okay, the table calculate present value interest factor annuity table. If you put that number, you get it from the appendix. And then if you use the calculator, you're going to plug in this number. If you just follow the step, you're going to get the same number. Okay, that's basically the end of the chapter 1 to calculate the personal finance. Okay, so hopefully you enjoy this class and get back to next chapter. Bye.